My husband wants to sleep with other women and I don't. What do I do? As we grew closer, James opened up about some of his desires and fantasies. He mentioned being curious about the lifestyle of swinging, exploring relationships with other people while maintaining our strong bond. Initially, it was a foreign concept to me. I had always envisioned a more traditional monogamous relationship, but my love for James made me want to understand his desires and keep an open mind. We talked about it at length, and I made it clear that I wasn't sure if I would ever be comfortable with the idea. James reassured me, saying that he would still want to be with me even if I never embraced that lifestyle. His understanding and patience reassured me, and I promised to keep an open mind and at least try. Our first few months together were like a dream. We were still in that honeymoon phase where everything the other person did was endearing, and we couldn't keep our hands off each other. Every kiss felt like fireworks, every touch like an electric current running through my body. We spent lazy Sundays in bed, wrapped in each other's arms, talking about our hopes and dreams for the future. James would often whisper sweet nothings into my ear, telling me how much he loved me, how he couldn't imagine his life without me. I felt the same way. I was head over heels for this man, and I was willing to do anything to make him happy, even if it meant stepping out of my comfort zone. Fast forward to our first experience with swinging. We had met another couple who seemed nice enough. The woman was beautiful, the man handsome, but as the night progressed, I found myself feeling increasingly uncomfortable. Watching James with another woman was a strange, almost surreal experience. I felt a pang of jealousy but also a deep sense of inadequacy. What if he enjoyed being with her more than with me? What if he decided that this lifestyle was what he truly wanted, and I couldn't keep up? The actual swap was even worse. The chemistry I had with James was nowhere to be found with this other man. Every touch felt wrong, every kiss awkward. I tried to push through, to enjoy myself, but it was impossible. I couldn't stop thinking about James, couldn't stop comparing this man to him. James was perfect in every way: his touch, his kiss, the way he looked at me with those deep, soulful eyes. This other man didn't come close. I felt a wave of relief when it was over, but also a sense of dread. How could I keep doing this? Despite my reservations, I wanted to make James happy, so we tried again. And again. Each time was a disaster. The men were always subpar compared to James, and I found myself resenting the women he was with. They were always beautiful, always seemed to have a good time, while I was left feeling empty and unsatisfied. I tried to talk to James about it, but he always brushed off my concerns. He would tell me that I just needed to relax, that I would get used to it. But I didn't. I couldn't. The thought of sharing him with someone else made me sick to my stomach. I remember one particular night vividly. We had agreed to meet another couple at a trendy bar downtown. The evening started off well enough, with drinks and laughter, but as the night wore on and we moved to a more private setting, my anxiety skyrocketed. The other man was attentive and kind, but it felt all wrong. I kept glancing over at James, who seemed to be enjoying himself immensely with the other woman. Every smile he gave her felt like a dagger to my heart. By the time we got home, I was in tears. James tried to comfort me, but his words felt hollow. He couldn't understand the depth of my discomfort. After our most recent attempt, I couldn't take it anymore. I felt like I was losing myself, like I was compromising my own happiness for something I didn't even want. I sat James down and told him how I felt. I explained that I had given it a genuine try, but it just wasn't for me. I wanted to focus on our relationship and not bring other people into our intimate space. To my surprise, James didn't take it well. He accused me of being selfish and not understanding his needs. He insisted that men were naturally inclined to want multiple partners and that I should be willing to make sacrifices for his happiness. His words cut deep. This was the same man who had reassured me that it was okay if I never wanted to engage in swinging. Now, he was telling me that he would never change and that this was an integral part of who he was. I felt a mix of anger, sadness, and confusion. I had done everything I could to accommodate his desires, but it seemed like my feelings and boundaries were being dismissed. I loved James deeply, but I couldn't compromise my own happiness and well-being for something that made me so uncomfortable. In the days that followed, our relationship became strained. The man who had once seemed so understanding and supportive now felt distant and unyielding. I couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. How could he expect me to continue doing something that made me so unhappy? How could he disregard my feelings after I had tried so hard to understand his? As I grappled with these questions, I sought advice from friends and family. Most of them were shocked and urged me to prioritize my own happiness. They reminded me that a relationship should be built on mutual respect and understanding, not on one partner making all the sacrifices. The more I thought about it, the clearer it became. I loved James, but I couldn't lose myself in the process of trying to make him happy. I deserved a relationship where my feelings and boundaries were respected, where my partner and I could find common ground without compromising our core values. One evening, I sat James down again for a heart-to-heart conversation. I expressed my love for him but made it clear that I couldn't continue in a relationship where my needs and boundaries were being ignored. I told him that I wanted us to work through this together, to find a way to make our relationship fulfilling for both of us without involving other people. James listened quietly, his expression unreadable. After what felt like an eternity, he finally spoke. He admitted that he hadn't realized how deeply his desires were affecting me and that he needed to reevaluate his priorities. He apologized for being dismissive and promised to work on finding a balance that respected both of our needs. It wasn't easy. The days following our conversation were filled with tension and uncertainty. We had to navigate difficult conversations and confront some uncomfortable truths about our relationship. But slowly, we began to rebuild our connection. We focused on open communication and made a conscious effort to understand each other's perspectives. James started to see that his happiness couldn't come at the expense of mine, and I learned to express my boundaries more clearly and assertively. Over time, we found new ways to keep our relationship exciting and fulfilling without involving other people. We explored new hobbies together, took spontaneous trips, and made an effort to keep the romance alive. The process strengthened our bond and made us appreciate each other even more. Our journey wasn't without its challenges, but it ultimately brought us closer together. James learned to appreciate the depth of our connection and the uniqueness of what we shared. I discovered the importance of standing up for my own needs and not losing myself in the process of trying to please someone else. Today, our relationship is stronger than ever. We found a balance that works for both of us, built on mutual respect and understanding. We've learned that true love isn't about sacrificing your own happiness for someone else's desires, but about finding a way to make both partners feel valued and fulfilled. Looking back, I'm grateful for the challenges we faced. They forced us to grow individually and as a couple. We emerged from the experience with a deeper appreciation for each other and a stronger commitment to making our relationship work. Our love has evolved into something more profound and resilient, and we're ready to face whatever the future holds together. Every now and then, I think about how far we've come. I remember those early days, filled with passion and excitement, and compare them to now. While the initial fire of a new relationship has transformed into a steady, comforting warmth, the love we share has only deepened. We've faced our fair share of trials, and each one has made us stronger, more in tune with each other's needs and desires. James, once my Superman, has become my rock, my confidant, my best friend. He's learned to balance his desires with our shared commitment to each other, and I've learned to assert my own needs without fear of losing him. Our relationship isn't perfect, but it's ours, and it's built on a foundation of mutual respect, love, and understanding. We continue to grow, to learn, and to love. Our journey is far from over, and I'm excited to see where it takes us. Together, we're ready to face whatever comes our way, knowing that our love will guide us through. I cherish the moments we share, the laughter, the tears, the quiet nights, and the adventurous days. Each experience, each challenge, has shaped us into who we are today. And as I look into the future, I see a lifetime of love and happiness with James by my side. Our story is one of resilience, of growth, of unbreakable bonds. It's a testament to the power of love and the strength of the human spirit. And it's only just beginning. I was reminded of a particularly poignant moment when we were on vacation in the mountains. It was our attempt to reconnect and escape the pressures of daily life. We rented a cozy cabin, nestled among towering pines, where the only sounds were the whispers of the wind and the calls of distant birds. The air was crisp and fresh, a stark contrast to the bustling city life we were used to. One evening, after a day of hiking and exploring, we sat by the fire, wrapped in a blanket, sipping hot cocoa. The flames danced in the hearth, casting a warm, flickering glow on James' face. As we talked about our dreams and fears, he suddenly reached for my hand and held it tightly. He looked into my eyes, and in that moment, I could see the depth of his love and regret. "I'm sorry," he said softly, his voice breaking the stillness. "I didn't realize how much I was hurting you. I was so caught up in my own desires that I forgot about yours." His words touched me deeply. It was the first time he had acknowledged the pain I had been feeling. We sat in silence for a while, just holding each other, the warmth of the fire enveloping us. It was a turning point in our relationship, a moment of raw honesty that brought us closer together. We spent the rest of the week rediscovering each other. We took long walks in the forest, hand in hand, talking about everything and nothing. We cooked meals together, laughing and dancing in the kitchen. At night, we lay under the stars, wrapped in each other's arms, feeling a renewed sense of connection. It was as if the mountains had given us a fresh start, a chance to rebuild our relationship on a stronger foundation. Back home, we continued to work on our relationship. We started going to couples therapy, where we learned to communicate more effectively and to understand each other's needs better. It wasn't always easy, and there were times when we argued and felt frustrated. But we were committed to making it work, to finding a way to balance our desires and to create a relationship that was fulfilling for both of us. One day, James surprised me with a romantic dinner at our favorite restaurant. He had arranged for a private table by the window, overlooking the city lights. As we sat down, he handed me a small, beautifully wrapped box. Inside was a delicate bracelet with a charm that symbolized our journey together. "I wanted to give you something to remind you of how far we've come," he said, his eyes shining with emotion. "We've been through so much, and I want you to know that I love you more than ever. I'm grateful for your patience and your willingness to work through this with me. I promise to always put us first." His words brought tears to my eyes. It was a beautiful gesture, one that reaffirmed our commitment to each other. We toasted to our future, to the love that had endured and grown stronger through the trials we had faced. As time went on, we found new ways to keep our relationship exciting and fulfilling. We took up new hobbies together, like salsa dancing and cooking classes. We planned spontaneous weekend getaways, exploring new cities and creating unforgettable memories. We made a point to have regular date nights, where we would dress up and go out, just the two of us, to reconnect and enjoy each other's company. We also learned to support each other's individual interests and passions. James started a new fitness regimen, and I joined him at the gym, cheering him on and participating in some of the activities. In return, he supported my love for art, attending gallery openings with me and even taking a painting class together. We found joy in each other's happiness and took pride in each other's achievements. Our intimacy deepened as well. We became more attuned to each other's desires and learned to communicate openly about our needs. We experimented with new things in the bedroom, always ensuring that both of us felt comfortable and satisfied. The trust and understanding we built allowed us to explore new dimensions of our relationship, making our connection even more profound. One summer, we decided to take a road trip across the country. We packed up our car with essentials and hit the open road, ready for an adventure. We visited national parks, small towns, and big cities, meeting interesting people and experiencing the diverse beauty of our country. We camped under the stars, hiked through breathtaking landscapes, and enjoyed the simple pleasure of being together without the distractions of everyday life. The road trip was a transformative experience for us. It gave us the time and space to reflect on our relationship and to appreciate the journey we had been on. We returned home with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper appreciation for each other. As we settled back into our routine, we continued to nurture our relationship. We celebrated our milestones and supported each other through challenges. We faced difficult times, like the loss of a loved one and career setbacks, but we faced them together, drawing strength from our bond. Our love had become a source of resilience, a foundation that supported us through life's ups and downs. Looking back, I am grateful for the journey we have been on. It hasn't always been easy, but the challenges we faced have made us stronger and more connected. James and I have built a relationship that is rich in love, trust, and mutual respect. We have learned to balance our individual desires with our commitment to each other, creating a partnership that is fulfilling for both of us. Our story is one of growth and resilience, of love that has endured and thrived. It is a testament to the power of communication, understanding, and compromise. We have faced our fears and insecurities, and we have emerged stronger and more in love than ever. As I look into the future, I am filled with hope and excitement. I know that there will be more challenges ahead, but I am confident that we will face them together, with the same love and determination that has carried us this far. Our journey is far from over, and I am grateful for every moment we share. James is still my Superman, but he is also my partner, my confidant, and my best friend. Our love has evolved into something beautiful and enduring, a bond that will continue to grow and flourish. I cherish the life we have built together and look forward to the adventures that await us. Our story is a testament to the power of love, and I am excited to see where it will take us next.